had some really beautiful photographs up in this lovely hair salon down in the Mission. What era are those? Or do you still do those? They looked kind of, what would you call those? Like kind of Gothic Nouveau, Vogue-ish, I don't know, like W or something, I don't know.
All of that is a compliment, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Really, I don't know. When I shoot something, I try to use all of my skills, use whatever the subject calls for. For that particular series, and that's sort of my style, the way I shoot people anyways, because people that tends to be my passion, is using photography to capture people the way I see them. And a lot of times I think that people, they separate themselves from environment, and they go to the mall and they pick out the clothes that they're going to wear, and I think they get lost somewhere in between there, They put on this thing, like I put on these clothes, you know what I mean? But is that really who I am, Is that, every time, it's funny because every time, look at my lovers, look at my jeans. Everywhere I go, right? If I go to get a piece of clothing, whether it's from a dime store or whether it's from a really nice, mall store, I'm subconsciously thinking about what's going to look good on me. So therefore, I'm concerned about my identity, right? Because the minute somebody actually looks at me, they're going to judge me. They're going to put me in a category. I think everybody does it. Even if they say they don't, they're denying it. You know what I mean? They do. We all do it. So those images were part of that kind of mindset. Whereas I took these people out of their daily lives and I took them to a place and I photographed them without telling them anything about it. So I had them agree to me that they would actually allow me to photograph them. And then I told them, okay, then be ready, because I'll call you at 6 in the morning one day, you know what I mean, and have you get in my car, and then we're going to drive out to Golden Gate Park. And that was about all the information that I gave them. So the day would come and I would call them, and who knew if they were busy? Like, they had a job to do, they had to, go take care of their mother. It didn't make a difference to me. I was going to pull them out of their element, take them to the Golden Gate Park, and find like this interesting background, which I had already studied for that particular person, and just put them there. And the series that you didn't see, which is, I usually photograph them nude first, and then I gave them a piece of clothing, which they had no idea they were going to wear. And the clothing that I chose was something that you wouldn't be able to sort of identify that person with. So you can't tell if it's actually something that somebody was wearing in 1950 or whether somebody got that from a dime store today. The point was to sort of mix things up. And it was also like a gift to the person, like don't get stuck wearing the same thing. Don't get stuck putting on your identity. Don't forget to take off your clothes and go out and be one with like the air. Some of these people, I swear, I asked them, how do you feel? They had never been outside to actually feel the air, the fog, the mist, the chill, how you have to actually summon your body to get a little warmth out in the middle of nowhere, how these sort of wild weeds and stuff like that out in Golden Gate Park, how they felt under the feet. Like, this is stuff that, like, I think everybody should know, and because these people, like, didn't, it was this photography, like, sort of exploration that got them there. And so anyways, I like to think that those photographs kind of made themselves. It's about the person, it's about taking them out of something usual and putting them into something a little less predictable, and seeing what that was going to look like, find out what the reaction was going to be and how it looked in photography. And I think that my medium of choice is photography, and I think I've been doing that for about 6 years now, and I think you'll see a lot more of that happening.